Hey, welcome back. And late Sunday morning, this was just announced. New coronavirus relief bill includes $600 stimulus checks, $300 in enhanced unemployment benefits. More details are going to be officially released on Monday. This isn't the usual type of video I like to make. I usually like to talk about finance and investing, but if you have no money, if you're unemployed, this obviously matters. We need income to be able to invest. I just want to get the important stuff out of the way, and then we can dive a little bit more into the details of what's been announced. The key thing is that people will be getting stimulus checks. It's half the amount it was previously, and also the enhanced unemployment benefits are also half of what it once was. It was $600, and then later in the second bill that was actually passed, they changed it to $400, which was still pretty good, but didn't include all the states. Some states took it, some states did not. This $300 will be across the board. And if you are unemployed right now, here's the website you can go to. It's departmentoflabor.gov, and I'll link it in the description below. And here you can just find your state. If you're in Delaware, click Delaware, and this will link you directly to the Department of Labor. I know earlier this year when unemployment was over 14%, all of these systems got completely overloaded and people had to wait for months for their unemployment checks. So even if you're looking for a job, or you're pretty confident you'll have a job, or if you think you might even lose your job, just start looking into this now, because once this officially passes, they will be overloaded again. Unemployment rate is about 6.7%, which is much lower than it once was, but it's still much higher than our historic lows pre-pandemic, which was about 4%. So I know a lot of people are still struggling. Go to it, apply, at least learn about it, and get ready to do it if you need. Now let's dive into the article. Congress is set to pass one of the largest stimulus packages in the nation's history, which will send much needed aid to struggling families and small businesses across the country as the nation continues to grapple with the economic fallout of the coronavirus pandemic. The nearly $1 trillion COVID-19 relief bill will include a second stimulus check of up to $600 for many Americans, an extra $300 enhanced unemployment insurance for 11 weeks, the continuation of key jobless programs, and funding for food and rental assistance, among other provisions. I'm going to skip the negotiation part because who cares? They've been negotiating it forever. One of the largest provisions in the bill is funds for enhanced unemployment insurance. Those accessing jobless benefits through the pandemic and unemployment assistance program and the long-term unemployed accessing pandemic emergency unemployment compensation benefits now qualify for 11 additional weeks of payment through March 14th, 2021 for a total of 50 weeks. It also provides enhanced federal jobless benefits of $300 per week for 11 weeks through March 14th, 2021. This is half of the extra $600 per week unemployed workers received at the start of the pandemic under the CARES Act and ended in late July. If you are unemployed, or if you are even self-employed, you can be eligible for this extra benefit. It will take weeks for people to see the enhanced payments in their checks. In the meantime, millions of out-of-work Americans will likely experience a lapse in unemployment benefits for at least a few weeks. And remember, UI benefits are taxable. So what they're saying here is that initially you might just see your base unemployment. The $300 additional might take some time to kick in. And also to remember that when you're collecting UI benefits, it counts as income, meaning it is taxed like income. Whatever tax bracket you're ultimately in for the year, whether it's $30,000, $50,000, $70,000, it's going to be taxed just like a regular income. And if you end up making money, you will have to add the UI benefits you had onto the total amount you earned for this year. The bill also includes $248 billion for another round of Paycheck Protection Program loans for small businesses, $12 billion of which is earmarked for minority-owned businesses, and $15 billion of which will go to live venues, independent movie theaters, and cultural institutions. It also expands PPP eligibility to include nonprofits and local newspapers, TV, and radio broadcasters. I need to know more details about this. I think this is good. On paper, I think this is actually good because the previous iteration, too many super wealthy companies that didn't really need the money were taking it. And honestly, it's hard to blame them. The government was essentially offering the money. Yes, it might not be the most moral thing to do, but at the same time, as a business, it made sense to take it. But now they're specifically saying that this amount of money is for these types of people. This amount of money is for live venues and theaters. And I'm fine with that. I think they do need help as long as it's going to people that actually need it, that are smaller in general. I think it's okay. Stimulus checks. This is a very popular topic. Though another round of direct payments was not part of the original bipartisan draft, pressure from lawmakers made this happen. This bill includes $600 checks for individual taxpayers earning under $75,000 per year and their child dependents, half the $1,200 payments distributed via the CARES Act. There will not be a cap on the amount that a single household can receive, so this was like it was previously in the CARES Act. If you make more than $75,000 per year, you will still get money, but it will be a decreasing amount up to $112,500. So if you make more than $112,500 per year, you will get zero. This bill also provides $25 billion in rental relief. It also extends the nationwide eviction moratorium through January 31st, 2021. In short, that means renters will not be evicted while they're waiting to get this payment or support. There will also be food assistance, $13 billion in increased SNAP funding. What's not included in the bill is aid for state and local governments, which is something Democrats want. And there's no liability protections for businesses, which Republicans want. This is a bipartisan agreement, so both sides don't get some of what they want. This also doesn't include checks for adult dependents or hazard pay for essential workers. This is something I'm pretty disappointed on. I don't understand why this would be a partisan issue. If we are willing to throw this much money out, I would totally be willing to give more money, even for higher taxes for our essential workers that are literally keeping the country moving, because especially now they are definitely working overtime. In summary, this is definitely a step in the right direction because it's taking a step. They've been arguing for so long that any agreement is a better agreement. When Joe Biden takes office, he has plans for a more comprehensive bill, but I don't think that the bickering will suddenly end when he becomes president. Obviously, it will probably remain just as contentious, so it remains to be seen what additional assistance he can get. Anyways, that's it for today. Please like and subscribe if that was helpful. Don't forget the link below to how you can apply for your unemployment benefits. If you got the previous stimulus check, this newer stimulus check should be okay, but there are places you can check too. I will also link that below. This is Green Knight Trading, where Squires become knights. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.